COVID-19 has strained Europe's largest economy, and experts say that Germany will see its economic output, shrink dramatically. IFO, one of the country's leading economic think tanks, says a 12% contraction is likely in Germany in the next 3 months. That's on top of a 2% fall since January. A full recovery isn't expected until the end of next year. Let's get a bit of a better sense of how this economic outlook will play out. Michael Bauer is a professor of financial economics at Hamburg University and joins us live now. Thank you for your time. I've just sort of laid out some of the predictions about what might happen to the German economy in the next few months, but how difficult actually is it at this point to make realistic predictions of what might happen, because the situation is so volatile, isn't it?
Good morning, Rosie. Yes, absolutely. It is extremely difficult to make predictions in this situation. We're just operating in an environment of enormous uncertainty. There's so many open questions right now. How long will these lockdown measures have to last? How severe will the economic damage be? The financial system could enter another crisis-like situation if banks are not able to, withstand waves of defaults. And when we reopen the economy, what will consumer spending do? Will it really swiftly pick up as we're all hoping it will? Or will we get another wave of infections, and will that necessitate another wave of lockdown measures? So just so many questions that we don't know the answer to, which makes it really, really hard right now to make economic predictions.
How long could it take for the country to recover financially if the pandemic plays out as, there isn't a large second wave in the country and things steadily get back to normal?
Most forecasters right now anticipate, a pretty solid pickup in the second half of this year, and then really a strong recovery in the next year. And so people talk about a V-shaped recovery. That is the baseline expectation that most economic forecasters have right now. That's certainly what I'm hoping for as well, what we're all hoping for. But there's a real possibility that we'll see something more like an L-shaped recovery, where you have not nearly as much economic pickup next year as we're hoping, and there's other downside risks. We could, if things really go poorly, then we could have something more akin to a depression-like situation with a prolonged contraction of economic activity. So to answer your question, most people expect, and I do expect, a good pickup in the second half of this year and then strong growth next year. But there's serious downside risk to this forecast.
Germany is a country, actually, that has handled the outbreak quite well. If you look at other countries in Europe, the death toll hasn't been this sort of devastating as it has been in other countries. What does it mean for Europe as a whole? Because if that's the projections for Germany, a country that economically is very strong going into this, for the continent of Europe, how might it fare economically in the next few months?
There is a possibility that other countries, other large European economies will do worse economically. Spain, Italy, with more severe lockdown measures, longer lasting lockdown. That is in the forecast of most, most professional forecasters right now, that economically Germany will do a little bit better. So that remains to be seen. And certainly in terms of the infections and in terms of how we're managing this outbreak. So far, it is looking a little bit better in Germany, and let's see whether that is going to show up in the economic numbers that we'll get over the next few quarters.
Michael Bauer, thank you very much for speaking to us, Professor of Financial Economics at Hamburg University.